Isaiah?
I weighed in today. I was 305 point something.
I remember when you're about 280, you come off the ball pretty quick.
Yeah.
You still have that speed.
Oh yeah. No,
You don't got to worry about that. You still
yeah.
got speed.
we put on good weight. We put on good weight.
So,
I hope.
Just your opinion overall, how things have gone for these first 6 days of camp, and also for you individually as you hit your senior year.
I think it's honestly been great. I think this is some of the best we've looked since I've been here. You know, I think we're doing a lot of good things on offense and defense. You know, we're playing really physical. Like, if you take a look at the O and D linemen after practice, like, we're beat up. Like, we've been hammering each other. So, we've been playing really good, smart, assignment sound, physical football. And, you know, that's the brand of football we play. And, you know, myself, I feel like I've been having a pretty good camp, but, you know, I got to step up, you know, lead these other guys on the D-line. But you know, the success I've been having is really due to what the rest of the D-line has been doing too. We've been growing tremendously. Like, you see guys like Jashad and Ed Gregory, Zach, and, you know, some of the transfers we brought in too. Like, everybody in the D-line has been making tremendous strides. And so the plays that we all been making on the field and the plays I've been making, it wouldn't be possible without them. So I give a lot of credit for my success in practice to those guys too.
On a couple of the new older guys that have transferred in, Terry and Taylor. Taylor's out right now, but just what have been your impressions on those guys? They're going to be able to help you?
I definitely think they'll be able to help. You know, Terry, I mean, like you said, Taylor's been out, but from what I've been seeing of Terry, when he's come in, he's physical, uses his hands well, and, you know, he plays on the other side of the line of scrimmage, which is what you want in the defensive lineman, especially defensive tackle. So I think he's going to help us tremendously. And also Jordan Dominic, I think we're all three of us were in the same class. And but yeah, he's giving good pass rush. And, you know, obviously we all have things we have to work on, but those guys are coming along. And I mean, I've been in the defense a lot longer than them, but for the time that they have been learning these things, they've been doing really good. I think they're really gonna help us this season.
All right. Same question for you, Dalton, just as a veteran's point of view, first 6 days, what you've seen.
Yeah. Offensive line came out firing on all cylinders these first 6 days. I've been very impressed with our ability to communicate, pick up blitzes. Feels like we're getting the book thrown at us right now from the defense. And it's a testament to them as well, too. Our defensive line has really, during the summer, changed their bodies and have gotten so much faster and stronger. And they've really stepped up. And I know it's such a cliche, but iron sharpens iron. And like Zay was saying, at the end of practices, man, we're beat up. It's all practice. All we're doing is going as hard as we can. And the competition between O and D line right now is as heavy as it's ever been since I've been here. And guys winning reps, guys losing reps all the time.
To both of you, since you've been here so long, you've come through the full build. Just, you knew what it took to go from where you were to get to 9 wins. What is to get to go to the next level? If both y'all can answer that.
I really think that what we're at right now, our trust in each other is what's going to take us to the next level. Last year, we had a good amount of trust in the defense, and defense, I think, had a good amount of trust in us, but like, it felt like there was still something missing. And I think more trust is what was missing. But now, like, with how much both units have come, especially special teams as well, too, I think that's what's going to be able to carry us to now know, you know, hey, offense went 3 and out, but we know defense got our back. Or, hey, maybe they drove down a little too far and we know offense can bail us out, you know, stuff like that. And I think having that trust and that confidence in each other is really going to be a game changer for us.
Yeah, I would agree. Definitely trusting that the other side of the ball is going to get the job done. You know, it makes it a lot easier. You know, when you do have a hard drive on defense, when you finally do get a stop and maybe the offense isn't in the best field position, but, you know, we've been preparing all year. And I think the biggest thing is mindset, you know, and knowing that those tough parts in practice, you know, today we're doing goal line and red area stuff at the end of practice. I was telling the D-line, I'm like, at the end of the game, how else do you think the ball is going to get down this far? You know, they've driven the ball. They maybe had some good big plays, but obviously we're on the bad side of the field now. So it's like we gotta bow up. We gotta have good mentality about coming out there, go ready to dominate. And then also I think it comes down to sacrifice. The difference between this year and last year is sacrifice, especially myself, you know, knowing exactly what it takes to get what you want and thinking you worked hard last year and coming short. And then it's just you just have to elevate in every aspect of what you do, inside football, outside of football. It's a whole thing. Yeah.
I know you missed a lot of spring ball. How are you doing physically? How are you holding up through the first 6 practices of fall?
Great. I haven't missed a rep. Anything I've been doing, my back's been feeling wonderful. I haven't had any issues. I got it fixed in the spring, and it's the way I intend to keep it.
I know that gave Tykees Crawford a lot of opportunities to get reps there at that right tackle spot. How have you seen him progress, and what are your thoughts on him so far in camp?
Yeah, I think his biggest jump has been learning the playbook. Probably he's now got his assignments down pretty good for the most part now, and he's starting to take the steps that you see older offensive linemen like him start to take now. Like, you know, they're transitioning from kind of that redshirt sophomore, that sophomore to that junior, and, you know, so on and so forth. And he's taken a much more veteran mentality approach to this stuff. He's not going into it. I don't know. He's not lackadaisical, but he's going into it with a lot more fire than he had before, and intent. Yeah, that's a better way for it. Intent. And he's done a really great job all camp so far. These first 6 practices we've had, I mean, he's shown out. He's been doing a heck of a job, and like you guys saw in the spring too, he's taking it upon himself, and I couldn't be more proud of him.
I think probably somebody everybody's rooting for is Dorian Gerald coming back. I mean, he's probably the only guy on the team older than you.
Yeah.
But is he back? I mean, he's had so many injuries and stuff. Is he back to where he was ability-wise? Just both of you guys. I don't know if you got a chance to go up against him, any Dalton.
Yeah, from what I've seen, I haven't had a chance to go against him yet in camp, but from what I've seen on film and stuff, he's back to what he was. He's firing off the ball on all cylinders again. I seen him do a get off the other day that I was just like, yep, he's back. He's firing off, and he's doing the things, and I think he's a little lighter than what he was, but that's allowed him a lot more ability to be able to bend and move around that edge. And I think it's really shown up on his tape.
And that question for you too on him, and also just maybe him coming back, maybe allowing you guys to maybe work Gregory inside more now.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a big help having DG back. You know, he's always brought speed and, you know, a good rush off the edge. And like Dalton said, he is a little bit lighter, but that just opens up more opportunities for him to, you know, play positions that he can use that speed and he can use that get off. And I think, you know, when you're coming off, you know, injuries, especially multiple injuries, like lower body injuries, I think the main thing is just trust in that leg and trust in moving. And so as he progresses through and gains more and more trust in that leg, I think he'll get better and better. He's been getting better and better every day in camp. And I think, you know, as the more he starts to trust and the more he starts to, you know, play on that leg, I think he'll help us a lot this year.
You mentioned earlier how the defense is kind of throwing a lot at y'all. I'm curious if there's anybody who's really stuck out to you, maybe on the defensive line, that's been kind of tough to block so far.
Yeah, all of them. They've all been good, but standouts, at least from my side, have been Deshad Stewart. He is a motor guy. Man, he's so fast. He's so strong. He's talented, and he just never gets tired. And it's awesome to see. It's so much fun to go against because it forces me to do things that are out of the normal for offensive linemen. You know, you've got a little play clock in your head sometimes of, oh, it's been 7 seconds and he's still going. You better keep going too. Drew Sanders is another one, causes a lot of problems on the edges, an elite pass rusher and a great linebacker as well too. Isaiah, obviously too, he's been doing an awesome job out there, and Eric Gregory too. I can't give Eric enough props too, because he's stronger and faster than I've ever seen him.
Then Isaiah, kind of the same question for you guys on the offensive line, maybe returners or guys that you haven't faced so much that you're really seeing a lot from them. They're kind of hard to get past.
Yeah, so obviously playing interior, I see a lot of Bo, Ricky, and Brady, and especially, you know, today we're working more 3-down stuff. So I'm playing in the zero, and you know, when you're offensive lineman, you have a zero, and I mean, if it's a 3 front, you know, it kind of, I don't know, it makes you grin a little bit,
Yeah.
especially inside. Like, you can tell the difference on the double teams. Like, you know, there's times where it's like I got to be very technically sound. I got to make sure I'm firing off the ball, being very physical, because you take any rep that's not 100% max speed, it's like I'm getting blown back. And so I think, you know, just the explosion and this, how they synchronize on the inside on the double teams, and like I think that's definitely been standing out to me. They've been doing a lot of good stuff on the inside, and they've been getting me a lot better. You know, and in practice, I have to, you know, sit back. I go to the sideline and sit back and reflect on the period, and then just understand, like, what do I need to do better. And today was one of those days where I had to come to the sideline. Okay, I need to fire off my hands better. I need to be more physical. And so I think that's what they do very good. they've gotten a lot stronger, gotten a lot faster. So.
Isaiah, dating back to spring, Torian with knee, D tackle's been a spot that's taken a few blows in this camp. I'm wondering if you could talk maybe through some personnel who's been impressive to
Killing me.
you. Sam pointed out Terry Hampton's is coming on. Just what do you think of the position as a whole in your depth?
Yeah, I could go on like for the whole D line about how much people have been progressed, but yeah, I do think highly of Terry. You know, like there's stuff that he's a vet and he's played. Obviously, he hasn't been in this league, but he's played defensive line for a lot. So, you know, he has experience, he knows technique, and he's a very physical player. So, like, there's things that I can take from him. You know, his level of physicality, his quickness, and his violence. I can take things from him, and yeah, and I would say, like Wagner said, Jashad Stewart. You know, he to me has probably taken one of the biggest strides in the entire room.
Absolutely.
Because you know, it was a little hard for him to learn some things in the beginning, but Coach Adams is a great coach. He knows how to coach everybody. He knows everybody learns differently. So, and he goes about things, and you know, he gets everybody on the same page. Like when everybody in the room is talking the same and answering the question with the same words really fast, and like that's how you know, like the defensive line knows how the defense is working. I think Stu has shown some of the most progression this year.
Okay, and then anybody else? I mean, and also Marcus, he was having a good camp, right? I mean, can you
Yeah.
talk about other guys at tackle?
Okay. You want to specifically tackle? Yeah, Marcus and Cam Ball, all those guys, like they would like similar to what I said about Stu. You know, we're all getting on the same page, using the same lingo, and knowing that we have to, you know, fire off the ball, get vertical, and play on the other sideline of scrimmage. I think Marcus and Cam, they both showing that, and they're getting better in that sense too.
Did you pick up a nickname over the course of your internship with the wrestling folks?
No, I didn't.
So where do you stand with them? That was a 1-year thing?
Yeah, it was just I had it set in case I didn't come back. I had it set through March 31st in case I declared for the draft last year. Obviously, I decided to come back, and so that deal was up in March. And it was just a name, image, likeness deal. Used me for some promotions here and there, and it was a fun deal. Yeah, I do. If you guys got any ideas, let me know.
Spawn of Undertaker. This year, 5th year, right? You've had 5 defensive tackle coaches. Has that been a benefit to you or a detriment?
I mean, I think it's been a benefit. You know, obviously some coaches, you know, we've had different fronts. Some coaches coach differently, but I've been able to apply things I learned from different coaches and, you know, kind of make it as one. But I think this year, you know, Coach Adams, he's a very, very good coach. And if I didn't take anything else from other coaches, I think I'd still be just fine, just because, you know, Coach Adams, he does a very good job of helping me understand not just defensive line play, but how defense works and how football works. Like, what is the offense trying to do? You know, like if I got the back to the left of me on the left side of the ball and I'm shaded on the right side of the ball, you know, widen out a little bit because you're probably going to get zoned to you. You know what I'm saying? Just small things where it's like you can play a lot faster. And so, yeah, but I've learned a lot of things from the coaches that I've had previously.
You mentioned you guys are both still learning stuff, even though you're older players, but and this is a learning time, but being older players, are you peeking in at Cincinnati at all? Like looking at what they've got going on, looking at their depth, any film or stuff like that? Just kind of early looks.
I don't think we're allowed to in camp right now, but over the summer we watched a little bit of it. I think Coach Pitt's keeping us locked in to just getting better ourselves right now, but a little bit over the summer. I know the offensive line watched some tape on them just to get a feel for what they're going to do.
Typically in camp, when does that kind of stuff start? And is it just the first opponent, or do you kind of peek in at the first 3? Or
First opponent usually, and it's about that last week, right as we're about to start to transition into starting school and stuff like that. That's usually when we start that game prep stuff.
Yeah. And I don't know what goes on offensively, but defensively throughout the summer, you know, we would look at our non-conference opponents, you know, just because those are teams that we don't see on a regular basis. So we go over them slightly just so we can introduce everybody, just know what we're getting into, not too in depth. But yeah, right now we're just focused on us trying to get better, like trying to get better in what we do. And then we can transition to learning about other teams.
Yeah.
Isaiah, have you noticed your role as someone who talks in the meeting rooms and all? Has it grown in the past year? What do you see your role as?
Yeah. Obviously, being the oldest guy, or the guy with probably the most experience here. I mean, I have to hold myself to a very high standard, because I have to be able to hold the other guys in the room to a high standard too. And Coach Green was telling me, Coach Adams told us to be at breakfast one time, and I was late, and he told me, he's like, lead from the front. And that's kind of something I've been working on this whole year is, I have to hold myself to a higher standard. I have to push myself harder, and I have to be more detailed on the things that coaches want us to do, because I can't lead the guys in the room if I'm not doing that, and I can't guide them in the right way, and being one of the older guys, I know when I came in, we had TJ Smith, Armand Watts, Sosa, Jay Marsh. I had a lot of good guys that's in front of me. They're all in the league right now. So I know as a young guy coming in, you look to those older guys to see how it goes about, because, you get into college football and you don't really know what you're getting yourself into. You think you do, but you really don't. And so to come to a room and you have good leadership, that's what's best for, the young guys. And so, I can't just put that on somebody else and sit back and, play the back role. But if I know I've been in here and I have good knowledge and I work hard, I got to set an example for the rest of the guys in the room.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all. Have a good